It's 2:37 a.m. local time, and something impossible is unfolding deep in Russian territory. Three objects are streaking toward St. Petersburg at 420 kilometers per hour, invisible to the world's most advanced air defense grid. They shouldn't exist. The S-500 radar operator near Gachina stares at his screen, seeing what looks like a swarm of bats. Except bats don't fly in a perfect delta formation. And bats don't head straight for Russia's largest LNG terminal. At precisely 48 kilometers from the target, 22 kilometers from the S-500 battery, the lead Raven drone climbs sharply to 900 meters. The missile would need 25 seconds to intercept. But at full thrust, the drones could hit the 1.8-kilometer dead zone in 38 seconds. The battery commander has 13 seconds to decide, threats or decoys. His mind races. Each missile costs $2.5 million. 10 seconds. The closure rate is real. 7 seconds. Protocol demands positive ID. 5 seconds. If these are real, he can't wait. He fires. Two 40N6E interceptors scream from their launchers, hitting Mach 7 in 2.8 seconds. But watch the drones. They dive to 150 meters, vanishing below the radar horizon.
Here's the catch. These missiles rely on semi-active radar homing, needing constant ground radar illumination. Without it, they're blind. The commander watches his screen, heart sinking. The missile's computers only have the drone's last position. They detonate 90 meters above empty air, 20,000 steel shards shredding nothing. The LNG terminal's last defense, 2 Tor M2 batteries, has 15 seconds to lock on. The Tor's 9S-36 radar, operating in L-band, is built for larger targets. Against .08 square meter drones at 7 kilometers, the signal is a whisper in the noise. 10 seconds. Operators see fleeting blips. 6 seconds. The Tor's 30mm cannon slew, taking 2.9 seconds to rotate 180 degrees. 3 seconds. The lead Raven locks its target. Its 18-kilogram warhead hits at 2:37:52 a.m. 3 more Ravens strike in sequence. The terminal's main storage tank, holding 120,000 tons of LNG, erupts. A 1,800 degrees Celsius fireball engulfs the eastern sector. It'll burn for 60 hours. St. Petersburg's gas supply drops 35%. This is just the start. 400 kilometers away, 9 more drones approach another target. The Russians think they're prepared. They're wrong. At Baltic Refinery, 3 Pantsir S2 batteries form a defensive triangle, each with overlapping 18-kilometer kill zones. Their RL-123 radars can track 15 targets and engage 3 at once. The commanders, briefed on Ukrainian tactics, are confident. At 2:45 a.m., something odd happens. 3 of the 9 drones climb to 1,200 meters, fully exposed. Then the radar screams. Signatures match K-55 cruise missiles. Here's the trick. These drones deploy corner reflectors, aluminum triangles amplifying radar returns. A 12-centimeter reflector mimics a 12-square-meter target. The Pantsir system flags cruise missiles, overriding all else. The lead commander has 1.5 seconds to act. Protocol kicks in. 12 57E6 missiles launch, accelerating to 1,400 meters per second. They use command guidance for 15 kilometers, then switch to semi-active homing. But something's off. These missiles pull 8G turns, impossible for a K-55, which cracks at 2.5 G. They multiply. 3 become 6, 6 become 12. Each drone drops reflectors every 1.8 seconds, creating ghost targets. $2.8 million in missiles chase $10 worth of foil. Where are the other 6 drones? The answer hits like a nightmare. While all eyes are on the sky, 6 UJ-25 Ravens approach from the south at 60 meters altitude. The Pantsir's radar can't pivot fast enough. It takes 4.2 seconds to rotate the 2,800-kilogram turret. The commander yells, "Traverse!" Too late. The drones are within 1 kilometer. The 57 E-6 missiles need 1.3 seconds to arm. At this range, they'd hit unarmed. The 30mm cannons roar, firing 2,800 rounds per minute. The fire control calculates lead for a 220-kilometer-per-hour cross. But the Ravens execute random altitude shifts, 40 to 90 meters every 1.5 seconds. The Pantsir's predictive targeting falters, hit probability dropping from 80% to 28%. One drone eats a cannon burst, exploding 250 meters out. 5 make it. 2 hit the refinery's cracking towers. The third group strikes as the Pantsir's reload, a 75-second window of vulnerability. 3 more hits. The refinery burns, losing 180,000 tons of fuel. Ukrainian planners timed every move, exploiting the reload gap. At the next target, Russia deploys a surprise. At 3:01 a.m., 5 UJ-25 Ravens nearing Ryazan lose GPS and comms. Screens show static. Our Murmansk BN electronic warfare system activates, blasting 0.3 to 30 GHz with 600 watts of directed power. GPS signals at 0.02 watts from 20,000 kilometers are drowned out, 6 quadrillion times weaker. The drones switch to inertial navigation, but their gyroscopes drift 8 degrees after 400 kilometers. A 150-meter error looms. Processors hit 97 degrees Celsius, throttling to save themselves. The lead drone sheds load. Navigation lights off, 1.8 watts. Telemetry off, 4 watts. Radar receiver off, 2.5 watts. Every watt buys 0.4 degrees Celsius. Every degree buys 80 megahertz. 25 seconds to impact. No target lock. 15 seconds, 99 degrees Celsius. 8 seconds, shutdown looms. At 6 seconds, the algorithm finds it, not the target itself, but the shadow geometry of 3 storage silos forming a unique scalene triangle. The lead drone on channel 922 for 0.8 milliseconds sends 96 bytes of coordinates via frequency-hopping spread spectrum. The Murmansk can't jam every frequency. 4 drones adjust. The lead hits a silo at 3:01:47 a.m., striking where steel meets foundation. The fuel ignites, spreading at 25 meters per second. The Murmansk crew flees their $25 million rig.
The final strike targets Ingalls Air Base, Russia's strategic bomber hub. 4 Buk M3 systems form a square 6 kilometers apart with no blind spots. 2 Su-57s patrol at 9,000 meters. Radars sweep relentlessly. The base commander, using AI-driven threat modeling, is ready. 8 UJ-25 Ravens approach, weaving in a sinusoidal pattern, burning 5.1 liters of extra fuel. Why? The Buk's fire control assumes linear motion. Weaving adds 40 meters of error by launch. At 3:15 a.m., all 4 Buks fire. 16 9M317 missiles hit Mach 3, using inertial guidance for 3 seconds, command guidance to 2.5 kilometers, then active radar. The drones climb vertically at 7G, hitting 1,400 meters in 3.8 seconds. The missile's control fins stall at 78 degrees. One drone's 450 degrees Celsius exhaust triggers a proximity fuse, shredding it with 4,000 tungsten cubes. But the distraction works. 4 more Ravens, flying 6 meters above the Volga River for 800 kilometers, cross the bank. River reflections scrambled radar altimeters, but they recalibrated every 0.5 seconds. No radar saw them. The horizon at 6 meters is 9 kilometers. They hit 295 Hangar 1, holding 25 bombers with 60 tons of fuel each. The first strike ignites 1,500 tons of fuel and 200 tons of ordnance. Hangars 2 and 3 follow. In 50 seconds, $1.2 billion in assets vanish. The runway, choked by 100-meter visibility, grounds the Su-57s. The ultimate blow lands at Kazan, 700 kilometers inside Russia. 2 modified UJ-25 Ravens with 10-kilogram warheads and 15-liter auxiliary fuel tanks for 1,100 kilometers range approach a military optics plant.
An Su-35 stalks them, its radar in 8-degree narrow beam at 22 kilowatts. It locks at 40 kilometers. The drones, defenseless, barrel roll at 160 degrees per second, varying altitude from 120 to 180 meters. The pilot fires 2 R-77 missiles at 20 kilometers. Their active seekers track 14G targets, but the drone's rolls exceed the seeker's 100 Hz update rate, causing gimbal lock. One missile's proximity fuse triggers at 90 meters, ripping a Raven with tungsten shrapnel. The second missile hits directly. But the surviving Raven, half its wing gone, wobbles on. Its computer projects a 50-meter miss. In 4 seconds, it pulses max thrust. Impact at 3:29 a.m. The 10-kilogram warhead hits the plant's lens grinding facility. Dust and debris ruin the 0.2-micron cleanroom. A $60 million laser targeting system and 8 months of thermal sight production are gone. In 5 hours, Russia scrambles to redeploy air defenses. Every system moved leaves battlefield gaps, freeing Ukrainian artillery. Ukraine spent $350,000 on drones to cause $2 billion in damage. But the real cost? Fear. If drones can hit Kazan, nowhere is safe. Until next time.